In ancient Greece, there was an oracle at Dodona, and this was really famous. People would travel from all over to have their questions submitted there, and these would be written down on small strips of lead, and some of them have survived. So, what were people asking? Well, as it turns out, all sorts. Firstly, though, an obligatory plug for my podcast. After all, this is all the marketing I have. I did an episode on this, and my podcast is called Ancient History Hound, and you can hear all about Dodona there. So go and check it out if you get the chance. Anyway, on to the questions. The first subject area, health. It's important now, and it was important then, and people would ask things such as, which god should I worship or pray to in order to, get over an illness or disease? And sometimes it was more specific, such as, does this ointment work? And then there were real specific, some quite intimate ones around fertility. For example, Clunica asked whether or not she should have children from another husband, and Plorata asked whether she should have relations, shall we say, with Plator, son of Carpon, in order to secure children. But it wasn't just about having kids. There's lots of questions about the health of kids, and there was one quite touching one, and it just read, will my son ever make a noise? And the implication there is possibly that someone had a kid who was mute. Another topical theme, certainly relevant today, was jobs and job security. People back then were asking about whether or not they should change careers. For example, there are questions on whether someone should go into the copper industry or sell wine in Carthage, become a butcher, still breed horses, all that sort. And there was even an instance where a named individual called Epiletos, who we think travelled from southern Italy to Dodona, which is quite a trek, asked whether or not he should carry on in the trade that he'd learned or shift to a new one. Sadly, we don't know what he was currently doing or what he thought he could do. And then there was crime. People asking, for example, the outcome of a court case or whether so-and-so would turn up and give evidence. But sometimes it could get even more specific. For example, Cleocritus and Amphimedon asked whether Sindon stole the flowers. Another, if Melantus stole the money. And then there was pig theft. Were Miriam and Euthydemus privy to the theft of pigs? And a separate question, did Miriam and Euthydemus eat the pigs that they stole? If you want to hear more about the questions asked at Dodona or Dodona itself, click follow, ask a comment, and remember there is that podcast as well.